We're live.
Yeah.
Alright. Live stream is going. I got my peppers, I got my gloves. Just in case. I try not to touch the peppers because these are not the best gloves out there. So hopefully I don't have to worry too much about getting pepper on my hands and that bleeding through the gloves.
I feel like for a little while.
So we've got a wide assortment of peppers on here. We've got this little fellow. I don't know if you can see him too good from all the way back. This little fellow. I don't know if you can see him too good from all the way back here. But that right there is an eBay Reaper. It looks like a bigger Tabasco. That's a Tabasco. Just looks like a bigger Tabasco. It's not a Carolina Reaper. It's an eBay Reaper. I've got this cherry hot. I need to pull seeds out of. He's starting to get some lines up here, so we're gonna pull the seeds from him and we're gonna stick him in the dehydrator, dry him up. Here's that Scotch bonnet I took a picture of and put it in the PLC group the other day. It's quite large. It's got a weird shape to it. Once again, I don't know if you can see it from back here. You want to hold it up there for him? Grab my stem so I can get a better view of it. Yeah, it's got a weird tail end. But yeah, that's the only Scotch bonnet we've got right now. I'm going to harvest seeds from him, and I guess we'll stick him in the dehydrator too. But loads of Tabascos. Some of those are going to go straight into the dehydrator, and some of those are going to have the seeds pulled out of them and then put in the dehydrator. So ones like that are that nice red color, they're going to have their seeds removed and then stuck in the dehydrator. Whereas these greenish looking ones that accidentally came off the plant, they're just going to go in the dehydrator. I hope everybody can hear me. I know the microphone ain't the best, and the camera and the microphone are not up real close to me. So hopefully everybody can hear me.
I can pull it closer if you want me to. The
Now,
table.
for these green ones, all I want to do is pop the stem off of it, and then because I'm not pulling seeds out of it, I'm just going to take it and cut a slit right in the center of it, and that will be good to dry. See, even these greenish ones are hot, so I can smell it. If you cut these up into pieces, they're so small that they will dehydrate quicker. So if you're making a powder, but for what we're doing, we're just going to leave them as one piece because they're to dry quickly anyhow. So yep, there's the green ones done. Hopefully I have somebody just soon while we're live and we can chat with them. But until then, we'll keep doing it. That way, if anybody does a video, they'll have something nice to watch. So these orangish ones, I'm gonna just dehydrate some of them whole. And the reason why we put a slit in the side of it is so that the moisture can be pulled out of the pepper quicker than if it didn't have a opening in it. So that's why we put a slit in the side of it. And of course, the ones that I'm going to be stealing seeds from, I will cut those in half. And that's just so I can get to the seeds and get the seeds out of it. Now, Tabascos, they're not the hottest thing out there, but they're not the, well, I guess you'd say non-hottest thing out there. Trying to figure out how many I'm wanting to do whole and how many I'm wanting to get seed out of. Got 8 whole ones currently, and I will probably do 2 more and then I'll start pulling seeds out. So this one's so tiny, that little tiny one right there, he's so tiny that I'm not even going to fool with trying to get seeds out of him. I'm just going to cut a hole in him and stick him over there with his buddies, because he's just so tiny. Here's an interesting one. This one was growing at an angle on the bush, and so its stem, I don't know if you can see that, but its stem grows at an angle from the pepper. It's really interesting. So now that I've gotten all the ones for the dehydrator that are whole, I guess I will get to work on extracting seeds, and eventually, if I feel I've reached enough seeds, I'll just leave the rest of them whole for the dehydrator, because I do have quite a few here that are whole, and depending on how many seeds I get, I don't know if anybody else had problems with gnats, but we've got some gnats that come in from the garden, and they are quite annoying. Now this one was a nice juicy one that had quite a bit of juice in it. And the smell hits you pretty strongly on these red ones. Even the green ones, the smell can hit you. Now, I've eaten the green ones and the red ones before off of the plant that these came off of. I've actually got a bunch of them in a jar in the refrigerator that are pickling. So I'm hoping that those will taste good. But I'm going to collect these seeds up, and the majority of these seeds will end up going to our local seed library. They do quite a bit of nice work in terms of basically allowing a place for the people in the area to congregate their seeds. And it doesn't cost anything to join it. It also doesn't cost anything to take the seeds. So it's a really good resource for everybody in the area. And we plan on utilizing it. So it makes sense that we would give back to it. We're going to be giving back quite a bit of different stuff other than our peppers here, but peppers are one component that people do like to grow around here. So hopefully these will be a big hit and more people will be growing descendants from these peppers in the future.
Well, the birds stole some of those too, so it'd be good for them.
Yeah, they stole a couple. I was surprised they didn't steal more. It may just be that the plant is so big and that currently the ones that are turning ripe are in the plant. They're not on top of the plant because the plant has grown so much that the birds are just having a hard time seeing the ripe fruit to pick it.
It's a wonder they didn't pluck your spiders off.
Yeah, I got loads of spiders on that plant. I don't mess with them. I just leave them. They're not big old nasty looking spiders. They're small spiders, and I figure they're helping the plant to keep stuff off of it.
One looks pretty mean now.
I saw a stink bug on there earlier today. I think I knocked him off, but I'm not sure. I was hoping that they would eat those and get rid of those for me so I wouldn't have to deal with them. Because once the stink bugs lay their eggs and then those eggs turn into more stink bugs, can't get rid of the dang things. The dogs actually they'll eat these if they can get a hold of them. I don't know why. I know they are affected by the Caspian in them, so I don't know why they want to eat them, but they do. So I have to keep the peppers up where they can't get them because they'll eat them. I don't know why they like peppers. You would think they wouldn't want peppers.
So you'll eat about anything.
Yep.
You must. Hope everybody's having a good Labor Day
Yep.
too.
So yeah, currently I'm just trying to get the seeds off of the center of the pepper because I don't want that. I just want the seeds. That can go back in the pepper to dry. Leaving the seeds in the peppers and then drying them should make the powder hotter. I have heard from plenty of people that a lot of the heat is in the seeds, not just the skin of the pepper. So I'm sure that leaving the seeds in the pepper would make a hotter powder.
I would think so. Zeus. Go.
He's laying down. Well, somebody closed his door so he couldn't get to his bed, and he came and laid down next to us. If you want to go open his door back up
I went and shut that door like 3 times.
so that he can be down in his bed. He loves that bed. That's his buddy. Look at him.
He's all right right now.
He's like, I miss my bed. It was my buddy.
I think he's got stomach issues.
Yeah, that's some of that. His bed's got that Tempur-Pedic stuff in it. He's got a better bed than me.
He's pretty old though.
He's a good dog.
Yeah, he is.
He's actually one that won't bark at people coming to the door. Of course, it's not like it matters. The other two make up for it.
Sophie. Wow.
The other two dogs make up for that. He does bark if he smells or sees something out there. Like I've seen him bark at possums and stuff like that, and other dogs, but not people. I don't know why he doesn't bark at people. So this one right here is just loaded with seeds.
I need to be doing that on brown cherries.
I'll tell you this right now. This container is soaked in pepper juice from these.
Oh, that tray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some juicy, juicy peppers.
Them brown cherries take forever. Little teensy weensy tiny seeds. And normally I wouldn't even save them because they come up here everywhere. We like to eat them, or I like to eat them. You can actually make stuff with them, but I figured I'd save some for the seed library. I started to save seeds though in goji berries. Some come off on my hand whenever I was cutting them.
And things are so tiny.
Yeah. They're not much on taste, but they're good for you. Really good for you.
Well, peppers can be good for you in moderation.
Mm.
That irritant opens up your arteries so plaque and stuff can pass through. And blockages. See, we'll have plenty of Tabasco seeds for the library. That's good. We also have collected plenty of cayenne seeds for them.
Yeah, we've got a load of those. We currently have, let's see, load of cayenne seeds. We've got some,
A few Scotch bonnet and a few cherry hot.
what's that melon called? Rich sweetness.
Yep, rich sweetness melons.
We've got some plum grannies, which are a very bland pocket melon. And then we've got spaghetti squash, jack-o'-lantern, zebra tomatoes, little yellow pear tomatoes. Trying to think of what else. You think of anything else? No, we got some other flowers.
Eggplant.
Yeah, eggplant. And 4 o'clock. Think about white and hot pink. Got the mole plant, the money plant. Seems like there's more than that, but I can't think of it. Well, of course, ground cherries. I already mentioned that.
It's hard to pick these seeds without getting pepper in with them because of the way the pepper grows and how small it is.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time they're still attached to bits of pepper. The larger ones, it's easier to get just seed. It's one of those quiet days. Everybody's out doing stuff for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Was hoping we'd see maybe Dishman or Levy or somebody else.
BB.
Yep. Tomorrow will be Tuesday and everything will resume back to the way it was. Because the Labor Day weekend will be over. Got that one done. Working on them.
Yep.
Yeah, that Tabasco plant is huge. It's quite the spectacle. We had to put a cage around him, of course. He got so big and loaded. Can you kick that air back on?
Mm-hmm.
It's getting a little bit hot in here. Okay. So this, uh, it's okay, Zeus. She just went outside to check on the plants. So this pepper was also quite filled with juices, and it's got quite a few seeds in it. Yep, these should be some good seeds after we let them sit and air dry. And then once they're nice and air dried, I can take them and stick them in bags. And I like to stick them in bags for the seed library. I know they could do it. They have volunteers that come in and do that stuff. But I figure, these are some of these peppers that we're dealing with, like the Scotch bonnets. They're very hot. You don't want that on your hands. Wouldn't want a volunteer to accidentally get that on their hands. So I don't mind doing it. So I do about 10 seeds to a bag, and because I mean that seems like a pretty good number to me. And if people want more, they can just grab more packs of the seeds. They can grab as many packs as they want. So they could grab 3 or 4 packs of seeds, no problem. So that one's done. That's that's a pretty nice one. This is gonna be juicy too. So there we go. Get that one cut open. I don't know how other people harvest their seeds. This is just how I've been doing it. I actually need to get some better gloves. I heard that they sell some nitrate gloves that are pretty good at withholding the the pepper residue from leaking through them. Because I mean these gloves work, but once you get so much of that on there, leaks right through the glove, and then your hands are burning. I had that with the Cayennes that I was working with because I had to physically handle them. I had to deal with so many of them, and there's still more. There's still more of those that I have never gotten to, and they're just they burnt my hands up pretty good. So just removed a dark seed there. It doesn't necessarily mean it won't come up, but normally you don't want uh, seeds with dots on them or black seeds because those are normally they're either not good, or if they are good, they're weaker than your white seeds. So I'll just remove that. That'll go into powder. So we got quite a few there. Quite a few seeds, and there's another one that was hidden. So this one's also nice and loaded. It's actually not that juicy on it yet. I think the riper that they get, the more juice they get in them. That's what I think. That's what I've been seeing this year so far. Is that the more ripe ones tend to have more hot liquid in them than the not as ripe. It can be a hassle to eat them just straight up whenever they're like that because unless you get that sucker in your mouth all the way, when you bite down, there's a chance the liquid will squirt out onto your lips and possibly even your hands if you didn't stick it all the way in your mouth and let go of it. So it can be it can add a bit of a hassle just eating them plain. But I assume if he's making a hot sauce, maybe then you would want the ones with more liquid in them. So there we go. Got that one done. That one wasn't too bad. I do think I might just slit up some more. Ooh, that one was loaded with liquid right there. Boy, that one was full. Absolutely dripping. Now that one would have been a nasty one right there to get a hold of. I can see it now, all that heat coming from that liquid. There's a seat I need to get. Drop that over there, that's got a spot. Move these into here. Yeah, this one was absolutely loaded with liquid. That one was absolutely loaded with liquid.
Yeah, I see it. Oils, pepper oil, damn.
Like I was telling them, that's not so good if you want to just eat them straight up, because it can get on your lips and your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured maybe it would be good in a hot sauce
Probably.
if you were making an actual hot sauce.
Bloody receipts, isn't it? Has anybody popped on?
We had one person on earlier, but they didn't say nothing.
Well, it is a holiday and probably a lot of people out doing stuff. Quite a few seats there.
Yeah.
That little tomato, whatever it's called, is that one. It's shaped with swollen skin.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping at least one will
drop them off.
Yep, so I can save seed from it. Even though we got more seed, I wouldn't mind saving seed from it.
Might be fresh.
Yeah, they're supposed to be really good for whatever that sauce is called.
Yeah, that one also had quite a bit of juice. So I think I'm going to slit a couple more of these.
Oh, you got a lot of seed there.
There's a juicy one. We'll slit that one. We'll slit this orange one here. We'll slit this one here. We'll slit this one right here. Split this one up here. We'll have quite a few seeds, whole peppers too. We'll also do this one. We'll add that one there. Add this one to that as well. Because we've got quite a few seeds. And there'll be more ripening as well. Nope, he threw out a seed. We'll stick that in there. So there we go. And we'll just slit this last one right here too. So there we go. We slit those up. They're ready to go to the dehydrator. Um, I've still got to do this cherry hot and this Scotch bonnet as well. But my main haul of Tabascos that I've been putting away is now done. So that's good. Do you want to stick these Tabascos in the dehydrator? Yeah. So they'll get started. Okay. That, and I need a label for their seeds so I don't get them mixed up. It's a good thing to do. Always label your seeds so that way you don't get them mixed up. And then the eBay reaper, I'm actually going to taste that one, and then I'll stick what's left of it in the dehydrator.
You just kind of stick it on the side. Well, you want me to put it on the thing? That's the way I do. I just stick it on the thing.
Just dropped it in there.
Well,
fold it up.
It's a long. That's a long word.
There we go. Basket. So I guess I'll do this bad boy right here next. Now, Tabasco, go stick with your friends. This thing's got loads of good seeds. It's a nice one for stuffing. What's that for? The Tabascos?
Yeah.
You want the whole ones?
Yeah.
Zeus, you can't go outside. Why are you holding that bowl far out from you?
Yeah, I know, because I just felt a tinge of heat on my arm. I think they're throwing juice, the way you're tossing them.
That's good for you.
It feels like it.
That ain't gonna kill you. They'll make you strong.
Stronger. He says that to the one that actually sticks your hands in the hot water. I'm not complaining. I just don't want that popping over in my eyes or anything like that.
Hey, I took some pepper juice in the eye. It was not fun. I had one shoot me in the eye like a lemon. That was not fun. Not at all. These cherry hots, they're pretty good snacking peppers. They got a bit of heat, but less than a jalapeno. So they're good snackers. Is that for the ones that I've cut up?
Yeah.
You can put them on the bottom because that's where the rest of them are that completely dried up.
Yeeks.
Where is it?
He's down there.
The
I'll get a
floor?
paper here and throw it away. Okay.
Holding that bottle so far away. As long as the dogs don't figure out it's there first,
Yeah, so
they will eat it.
I got it.
Crazy dogs eat peppers. So now I'm going to cut this one in half.
Please not work for the project I'm doing.
What them halves?
Yeah.
They'll dry out so quickly.
They should be dry here shortly.
They'll dry out so quickly.
I know. You'll still work there.
I was going to use them in powder. I smell that cherry hot smell. I like these cherry hots. This looks like this would be one with more heat to it. We're gonna use this one in a project we're working on, so we're not gonna eat him. We got a nice big one out there though that's ripening up. He will probably be good to eat if we don't need him for a project. Whenever the project's actually finished, we're keeping it a secret for right now, but we should hopefully have videos up on YouTube of it once it's done. But yeah, these cherry hots are nice. Nice peppers. They're good ones to grow. I like the way the plant grows. It grows one stalk up and then spreads out. It gets taller, which does mean you do have to put a cage around it. But I like it better than bushy peppers. Mainly because it's easier to get to the peppers. I've got a stubborn seed in the corner up there. I think that's it on that one. Yep. Smells delicious. So that one is de-seeded. Let's de-seed this side. Yeah, these are good little stuffing peppers. So they're not as big as a bell, obviously, but you can core them out and stuff them. Now, yesterday we spotted a pack saddle on the Tabasco. A pack saddle, if you don't know what that is, it's a caterpillar. It's this brownish, thorny looking caterpillar that in the center of it, it has a green area that looks like a saddle.
It'll sting the car out of it.
Yes, it will.
I know from a long time ago.
Now, they like peppers and other plants. If you don't kill them and you let them live, they turn into a moth.
That could be beneficial. Could be a pollinator that's beneficial.
Hornworms also turn into moths.
They turn into a what they call hummingbird or hawk moth, actually. And they are supposed to be wonderful pollinators. What, Curly?
But you have to deal with the monster, never-ending, devouring worm that turns into that moth.
Well, what we're actually thinking of doing next year is designating like one plant and trying to move these worms, as I call them, or caterpillars, to that plant so that they don't devour the one, all the others.
But that will only work if the parasites don't get them.
Well, if the parasites get them, then that's fine because that wasp is doing its
The parasitic
job.
wasp.
Yeah, it's doing its job too. And, the way I take it, it's not only hornworms that it does that to. There's other things it does it to too. Insects.
We've seen several cicadas.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any cicada killers in our area. That's a wasp that will kill cicadas. Does a similar thing to the parasitic moths we're talking about that get hornworms. Only it does it to cicadas. And generally, they're not aggressive towards people. It doesn't mean you can't be stung by it. You can, if you mess around with it.
What, the wasp or the worm? The wasp.
I'm talking about cicada killer wasps.
Yeah.
They can sting, but normally they're interested in stinging cicadas.
Where's the open spot?
Trying to get all the hidden seeds out of here. Some of them hide really bad. I hear a doggy.
Sophie.
Little Sophie.
Probably in the bedroom. Zeus, you just went out, buddy. Hadn't been long for you, always going to dance.
So that's the cherry hot up there. If you want to get me a label for him,
Cherry hot. Hey, Jess.
look at that.
See that little piece of paper on the end of the table? You mind cutting a little label and writing cherry hot? Yeah.
The juice is actually wet in that paper.
We could have put it on the outside of the thing.
That's how much.
See, you kind of rubbed your hands all over it, but that juice on them, and I don't really
Well, you
touch
know,
them.
you folded it up and
Yeah.
stuck it in there. How are you going to read it?
No, I don't feel good. That's a long word. Maybe Jesse can write smaller. I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't see. I figured I was leaning the word together.
Too bad.
I can't read that.
Here.
Got it upside down.
We just need to make it smaller. Really.
Smaller and turn it down.
Yeah. It's got to fit inside that cup.
These little tiny cups.
Of course, that one's a little taller than that other one. See, I never used that cup. I'm always used to using that one, but that one was
You're
right
the
there,
one
so I
that pulled
grabbed
the
it.
cup out and stuck it on
Yeah, I
here.
know.
Well, here's your cherry hot for the project.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
You want to stick it in the
I will. Here in a few
dehydrator.
minutes. Is it in your way? You want me to get it now?
It don't matter to me.
Okay. Well, if it's not in your way, I'll just.
Because now I got to do this Scotch bonnet.
Don't shoot in that juice over there.
It normally don't have juice.
No,
Not
it
like
didn't
the
even have no.
Tabascos.
All it was like skin and heat. Skin and heat. They're real pretty though. Plant's pretty. And those peppers make it even prettier. But taste, heat. That's about it. Right. I did not care too much for the taste.
Right now I'm just working this stem to get it off.
But that cherry hot, he gave me a piece of cherry hot one day that was red and it was hot, but it had flavor and it was crunchy. It had crunch to it. That thing is funny looking.
Mm-hmm. It's a
What are you doing?
strange looking one. That's the truth.
Oh, I'm pretty looking. I thought you had me show it at the beginning.
You didn't show it very well
I tried to.
because you don't want to touch it
I don't care for touching it.
because you're worried that somehow it's going to get you
Well,
from touching the
I don't
outside
want to
of it.
risk it, honestly.
So there's what it looks like from the top down.
The stem removed.
BD says that they've got a top hat shape
Sort of top half.
because as you can see, it kind of does look like a top hat if you don't look at the bottom of the
I think the
liner.
one that he's seen looked more like one than that one.
This one's got a weird tail. Some
Yeah,
of
it
them,
does.
some of them have had 4 lobes on the bottom. This one's got
Kind of stingerish.
this weird stingerish looking tail.
That looks like an elephant from the side. Do it again. Like a little elephant. The snout sticking up. And then big old ears.
So these, most of them have been this shape right here with this top part that then goes down into this part that then goes down into the end. But this one it doesn't have the 4 lobes. It's got like this weird tail.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what
Looks kind of like a witch. Look at it.
they look
If you look
like.
at it from that way, there's its nose. It's got its hat on. It does to me. Do you see it at all?
No.
Or maybe a bird. It's kind of like a bird with a hat on.
Peacock.
Oh, it does look like a peacock. Look at that.
Or a turkey.
Yep, it does. Hey, Rob, there's one to paint for Thanksgiving.
Now,
We can paint it into a turkey.
I'll cut this one open and get a close up on the inside of it to show how thick the walls are and all that fun stuff. Now the Cherry Hot has nice, thick, crunchy walls
Yeah,
that are delicious. This thing does not.
no. That thing just has heat. That's about it.
We didn't taste no flavor from
Nope.
it. But
It was all heat. All heat.
no way to beat the heat. It's got quite the aroma.
Seeds falling out.
So, okay, here, there's the sides of it. I'll set this one here down. So, it's got a tiny center area. That's where your seeds are gathered around. And then it's got these finish, I don't know if you'd call them medium or thin walls, but they're not very thick at all. And you can see all the internal bumps and crevices this thing has.
Those are heat blades.
And I mean, this thing, it looks wicked. Telling bumps and
It is
crevices.
wicked, yeah. It's got bumps of heat.
All the seeds are in the center up there. And you can see the ring, or what would be the bottom of the top hat. You can see that ring that goes around. And some of them are quite thin. This one might be a little bit thicker. But there's not much juice in them, which I guess that might be a good thing, considering how hot it is. There's the other half. You can see the seeds, how they congregate in the center, how it has that weird shape. So it's a strange pepper. Oh, it was actually sold at our local nursery, and well, you could have moved it for me.
Didn't ask me.
I didn't see you moving.
Feel dead.
Well, here, this will put some pep
I
in your
don't
step.
want none of that. No. I pass. I done tried it. I did not like
Yeah,
it.
I ate half of one, and I won't eat another half.
I don't like it.
Missed it. You just walk a bird.
Really?
It's so big, I do under a tree. That's too big a risk of being bombed by their dropping.
What kind of bird?
I don't know. I can tell there's a hole. There's probably 300 better.
Really?
Yeah, they just went straight over.
Big, little.
Little.
Huh.
They're looking for peppers to eat.
Yeah, I told the bees to get in. I was afraid this was their bees.
I've got a lot of little goldfinches on my
There
curve.
wasn't no finches bigger than that. It was about probably the size of a dove or something. Or
Them honeybees can handle some birds. If they get close to the box, they'll chase them.
I know we had some drones. That's our favorite meal on a lot of them, I think. Our stinger and pretty big meal.
I've seen them bees running songbirds off that got too close to the box. Yeah, remember whenever they get on that tree,
Oh, yeah.
you see bees hit the head towards the tree and then the birds fly away.
That's one of those ones. I think some of them weeds out right in front of them. There's a few kind of flying at me all around investigating what I was doing, I guess, that late maybe.
This will put some pep in your step.
You need some pep in your stuff.
I guess you can do it up to
Need
burn.
some fuel in your fire.
I did some fire in the fuel, I believe, right there.
Put some fire in
It
your
will
house.
get you moving.
Wicked.
Oh, I'm looking for the mail.
Yeah. Especially when nobody will hand you no water.
That was my water that I went and got.
Yeah, but I was over here holding the
But
camera.
you were not supposed to eat some. You said you were not going to eat none.
And then I thought, well, I'll eat some. I'll try.
You know, I can't handle the heat.
I'm not trying to read. I'm not trying one of those things Rob was talking about.
My health, what was I eat? I better eat what I can and get down without regretting it.
It'd probably be good to put that in, a little bit of that in some salsa. You know, something get a little bit of a kick, not, you know,
Just make sure you
yeah, mellow them out with lots of
Well,
flavor.
considering you don't try it if you hear it has super hots in it.
He would if he knew that.
He would if he didn't know that it has super hots in it.
No, if he seen me eat it and, you know, not be burning up, he can't handle that.
right now,
His stomach can't.
188 pounds, 240.
Yeah, he's losing weight, and I don't want him to get no worse.
Getting all these seeds out.
Yeah.
Not most of them. There's a few back in there hiding. I think I got most of them. Now it's just getting them in the bowl. That and get my label on them. I like doing these better than Tabasco's. Because you just get the seeds. You don't get all that mess. Got a few seeds left. Alright. There's all the seeds off the bat. Not very many compared to the cherry hot and all the Tabascos. But I got that one done. I've been going for, let's see, over an hour. And I've gotten most of it done. I was on to taste test the eBay Reaper. I may do that in a separate video. So with that said, thank you all for watching this long stream. If you made it this far, and as always, we've got videos up on the channel, and hoping to see you on the next stream. You click the end stream button for me.
Which one?
It says end stream on the screen.
Right here.
Yes. Hit.
Okay.